Another episode of the Lucrative Podcast. I am the host, the one only Magneto 7 in the building. I'm here. This is episode 232. Listen, when I hit like 500, episode 500, I better not be in the studio. I better be like in some big ish, like in a skyscraper, looking at the city, like yeah. Not the city on the TV, the city on the back wall. But this episode is brought to you by Safe Tire Auto. You need some tires, you need an oil change, you need alignment, I think I need a CV axle on my truck. I think I need a CV axle. But if you need any of that stuff, make sure you go over to Safe Tire Auto. Tell them Magneto 7 sent you from the Mad Lucrative Podcast. How about that? Listen. This has been a phenomenal week. It's been a great week for just musicians. Let me give us the clap. Let me give us one. Now, I'm not excluding beat makers. Just let y'all know, I'm not excluding the beat makers, but the musicians, the people that actually care about music still, this week was for us. It was for us. But of course, y'all know I got to get into Tank and Tyrese towards after the middle of the show. We got to get to the Tank and Tyrese, but it's been a lot of things going on, especially down here in Georgia. We got the pollen. Pollen is just out here being reckless. Everybody that's in the southern region, if y'all got pollen, if you got black cars, you got the dark colored cars, just let you know. All right, and I'm a guy. Keep in mind, I'm 30. I'm about to say I'm 32. Hey, Trey, I'm about to say I'm 32. I'm not 32. I'm 42. All right. And my whole life, pollen has been my enemy. I remember when I was in the yard, we probably talking about 8th grade. No, earlier than that. So you probably talking about 4th, 3rd grade. I remember being in the yard, and then the pollen just came through. Not like that. This is before I had glasses on like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That pollen itch is like a coke addict that's scratching your throat, right? But anyway, I remember back in the day I had pollen so bad my eye looked like it was about to pop out the socket. Well, the older I've gotten, it's gotten a little bit lighter, but now I have little things that I could do like Claritin, Zyrtec. They're not paying me for the ad, but I have to have something when the pollen comes out. When I moved to Georgia, it just got on industrial strength. It's like pollen is cocaine on the streets. And it's like, it's just like, I'm gonna blow all of this yellow dust. It's terrible. It's terrible. So everybody that's fighting with the pollen down here in Georgia, I'm praying for you. Just know you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Right? But anyway, I want to get to the pod. Okay. I'm gonna just talk about this real briefly because it could get real ugly. It could get dark real quick. So I watched the J. Cole interview. All my followers know. I have a love-hate relationship with J. Cole. And I'm from North Carolina too. Go figure. But I watched the J. Cole interview with Cameron, right? And I haven't seen that much deflecting in a minute. Now, I was told, one of my friends, I'm not going to say his name, but one of my friends was like, yo, you know that I was there that night when Cole did what he did, and, you know, and me and Cole had an exchange years ago. We had a couple exchanges, but the first one was the one that really, it's like, I see what type of person you are. So my friend said, well, you know, I remember that night. I was definitely there. And can we say maybe he's just an introvert when it comes to meeting new people? I said, well, if we want to say that he's an introvert when it comes to meeting new people, Jermaine, all right, I can accept that. But and I also watched the Jay-Z interview. This is what further proof say about cuss. I'm not gonna cuss today. Like I said, when I start talking about J. Cole, I can go down a rabbit hole. So I'm gonna keep it PG. But I watched his interview and I watched Jay-Z's interview. And when the interviewer, and that was I can't remember the interviewer's name from GQ, but he did a great job. Matter of fact, I give him a clap. Did a great job. Phenomenal job. But when Jay-Z was talking to the interviewer from GQ about the J. Cole situation. He said, man, well, we set him up and he just didn't want to, I guess he didn't want to take the help. Well, that put some things in some different perspectives, because a lot of people from Dreamville wanted me to produce for J. Cole. People wanted me to produce, but it was a little different. It was a little different. And again, I'm not going to go hard. I just don't feel like everything that Cole talked about on that interview was 100% copacetic. And I ain't got my box on my microphone. I don't feel like it was 100% copacetic. I feel like some stuff. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. If you see somebody exudes the same, they exemplify the same characteristics over and over, the characteristics of disregard. They say they F with these people, but it's really more so like I deal with people. I work with them just to get. When we see somebody do a certain thing, do we make a excuse? Do we make an excuse for what they did? Or and we say, no, it's their personality, because that's what my friend tried to tell me. That's what I should do to J. Cole. No, this is personality. For me, I'm like, no, if that's a character flaw and you acknowledge it as a character flaw, okay, that's a little bit different. But I never heard a real apology from Cole. I never heard a real place of ownership with the BS. And again, I can't talk about a lot of stuff. I have to be surfacey. You never know who watches these pods. You never know. It's just a few people right now. It's just little trinkets right now. But after watching Cole's interview, after watching Jay-Z's interview, I was like, okay, he's just one of them type of people. And if that's what it is what it is. But I didn't, I salute Cam for doing the interview. Even with how Cole talked about, he gave the whole rundown. And this is the thing. I can tell when Negroes is spinning on somebody. I can tell when a Negro is spinning. They got you spinning and said, well, yeah, I'm going to hit you next week. We all know those people. We know those people where they say, look, dude, when I get this going on, then I got your project immediately. Right? He told Cameron, when we get this together, I'm gonna come rock with you. Like Cole did all of this stuff, and I never heard a real apology. It was just a lot of explanation. Maybe it's a light skin thing. I don't know. B. Lamont says Tank singing about Nito and Cole singing about beef. I'm just saying, yo. I was weirded out by the interview a little bit. I was a little bit weirded out. But anyway, salutes to Cole. Cole is still a phenomenal rapper, right? He still has etched his name in the history in the historic hip hop category and music, especially for North Carolina, right? So I gotta definitely salute him. But anyway. On to somebody else that has been in the news off and on. Shouts out to Usher. Usher just did an interview with, I think, somebody from the Shade Room. But I thought it was an interesting interview because he never said that he was not on Puff's side. He gave some explanations, and I wanted to review this because I thought it was interesting. I saw a lot of people in the comments that was mad because he never downplayed Puff's significance in his life. He was like, man, I ain't never see him do nothing bad. And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure, Usher? You ain't never seen Puff do nothing bad. Not one thing? Yo. Usher was. I'm gonna just let it play. We gotta review it. I thought it was a good interview though. Overall, it was a good interview. Let me see. Here we go.
A bit controversial, but in the same way, I think many people choose to look past the reality of what our country is. the standards that we.
Hold up, wait. Usher, he asked you about Puff. He didn't ask you about the country. Don't give me the political state of our country right now. And everything that's happening. Don't give me that. He asked you about Puff, P. Diddy, Daddy Jones, Combs. Don't give me no sign. Anyway.
Now stand on. We can't ignore the reality of the history. But in many ways, I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented.
Hold on, wait. How was Puff Daddy misrepresented? Okay, let's see something. Let's see something right quick. Let me see something. I just want to pull up something. Just something simple. just something simple. Just something simple. How was he misrepresented? All right. I want to know that. How was he misrepresented? I want to bring this back to the stage because I think people be forgetting when they go on these interviews and they say, I ain't never seen him do nothing bad. I ain't never seen Puff P. Diddy Jones do nothing bad. Nothing? Okay. All right. What about this? This is something that I can see that he did bad. And again, I'm not pissing on nobody's stuff. He's doing the time now. He's got going on everything that he got going on, right? But you said you ain't never seen him do nothing bad. Okay, if that's Cassie, right there, that's Cassie, and this is Puff. She's trying to get away. She putting her shoes on, and again, look at him. He got the coke. He got the coke running through his blood. He like, where you about to go? And he yokes her up and he does that. Okay. And he kicks her. All right. So when Usher said he ain't never seen Puff do nothing bad. Nothing? Okay. He tried to say this is a political issue. Dog, he trying to spin the mess out of this interviewer. This spinning season. I'm gonna name this episode Spinning Season. He trying to spin the mess out of them. But anyway, let me play the rest of it.
I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws. But I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made. For us as black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created. And I acknowledge that. And that's why I see him as legacy.
Yeah. You told Shannon Sharp you learned a lot about business during that era.
Absolutely.
What'd you learn?
So this is one point too, and I'm gonna try to get through this quick. But when it comes to people that do shady stuff in business, and how Usher just said, it's a lot of people that benefited from the things that Puff has created. Okay, I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. But when it comes to morals, when we look at a person's morals, is it safe to say that we disregard anything bad that happens as long as everybody gets paid? Trey said, is this new? It is new. This is a new interview. When it comes to people that do bad things, is it safe to say that we just disregard the bad, especially if we benefit from the good stuff that they do? We just disregard the bad. It's like knowing somebody that's a millionaire. My bad, y'all. It's like knowing somebody that's a millionaire, and they say, well, you know what? As long as I can pee on your carpet, every time I come in your house, now I'm gonna pay for the cleaner. I have a thing where I can't go to bathrooms. I have to pee on your carpet. So So every time I come to your house, I'm gonna pee on your carpet, but I'm gonna pay for it. I promise you, I'm gonna pay for it, but I gotta pee on your carpet. Are we okay with people that do that? I don't know. Maybe I'm built different. I can't disregard a person's blatant disrespect for other people because you have a God complex. Let's call a thing a thing. And again, I love a lot of the Puff records. I grew up on them joints. His whole catalog is phenomenal. Minus some of the joints where he may have rapped or sung on that 50 was like, I don't know, dog. But I don't know. Let me see what B. Lamont said. He paved the way, but D-Man. This is the thing. Again, are we in a place, and this is a blanket statement, not just about Puff. I'm just talking about people in general. Are we in a place where we are okay with somebody coming in my house to pee on my carpet, but they say, every day I come in your house, I'm going to pee on your carpet, but I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to pay for a cleaner to come clean it up. They're going to clean that pee up. But every time, I can't do that. At some point, the pee starts to stink. At some point, the pee starts to go through the floorboards. Then the wood starts to smell like pee. And then the insulation starts to smell like pee, and now it's no longer just you coming to my house to pee on my carpet, but now I got to replace a whole spot in my floor because you keep doing the thing that you're doing. That's how I'm looking at all this stuff. At some point, and this is why I pride myself on being a square at the height of me being in music business. Now I'm approaching another level of music business where I know after 5 o'clock or after 9 at night, ain't nothing else going on in the studio. Only thing that's going on in the studio is poverty music after a certain time. I've learned over time. But anyway, let me play. I'm letting finish.
Puff was a mentor, but he was like you had that really, really hard teacher, but you're watching something in real time.
Hold on. Wait. Can I rewind that? So I think the interviewer asks, what business did you learn from Puff? If you were to ask me that same question, and let's say I had a real relationship with Puff. Let's say I had a real relationship. I'm going to say what I learned, about the living trust. I learned about how to protect your assets and, when it comes to certain things in the business sector and partnerships and joint venture and all this stuff. When it comes to that stuff, I learned that from Puff. Usher said Puff was a hard teacher. I love Usher too, so I'm not gonna dig. It's not necessary. What business did you learn from Puff P. Diddy Combs? He said, man, I learned a lot. He was a hard teacher. Oh, man. I love Usher, too. I love him.
That the idea of the level of discipline that came at that time in business, especially in an era that was trying to prove itself culturally in hip-hop. Now, you can't turn on the television and not see the influence of hip-hop.
That's right.
But the people who actually made that appropriate and are the forefathers are people like Sean Combs. And not just in the great times that they had musically, but in the idea of being able to find ways to monetize culture.
Okay.
And create something that was not just black or white. It was colorless. It was green. That's who I see that man as. And that's what I choose to remember. I put respect on his name because I realized that what I learned as a businessman, before I even understood what business was, came as a result of seeing the incredible things that he was able to do and the way that he positioned himself as a businessman. There are trials and tribulations that come with the pressures of...
I don't want nobody else black to say trials and tribulations for the rest of eternity. I don't want to hear it no more. All right, we're done. Trials and tribulations are over. We are taking those out of the black book of conversation. Ain't no trials and tribulations. It's bad conduct. And it's bad conduct and disciplinary actions. Trials and tribulations. Some of y'all trials and tribulations y'all brought on yourself. Just let's say that thing. It's not like you got a terminal disease and it's something that you just couldn't help. It just popped up out the blue. Some of y'all's trials and tribulations, you did it to you. All right. Say that. Just say it. I want people to, cause okay. Maybe I look like this. Maybe I look like this because for the majority of my life, I've had to work hard to not only acquire things, but to gain the respect, but to anything that's worth something in life. When it came to me working with all of the people that I work with in New York, it took me sleeping on the couch in the studio and taking whole baths. Yep, I did. I was taking whole baths in the studio bathroom because that studio didn't have a real bathroom, and didn't nobody want to pay for a hotel for me to come to produce up there, and I couldn't afford a hotel. So guess what I had to do? I had to stay in the studio. I had about $100 for the week. I slept in the studio every day for weeks at a time and took a whole bath. So then by the time we talk about getting real placements and we talk about getting the Grammys and we talk about all the stuff, you see me with the Rolex and stuff now, when you see me with the Cuban links and all that stuff, you see me with this stuff now. I took whole baths to get to that point. It took a lot of stuff in between. So when I get to a certain point and somebody says, I'm putting respect on Nito's name, of course you're going to put respect on my name. You saw the hustle the whole time. I didn't hold nothing back. When Ish wasn't popping. Because this is the thing. Right now we got 2 folk on TikTok. We got a few folk on the other platforms. Now it ain't as big as I know it will be. But at some point when we start getting thousands in the chat and it's just quaking all the time, of course you're going to put respect on my name because you saw the whole hustle. You saw the years of work that's put into building this thing. I can't say that. I don't know. I appreciate Usher for being a down home, a down dude. You know. I appreciate him for looking out for Puff. He doing his thing. B. Lamont said he sound like Mike Johnson defeating Trump. Yo, it's just different, man. It's different. I don't know. But anyway, shouts out to Usher. Oh man. Shouts out to Usher, man. He is phenomenal. Hey, guess what? I will still pay to go see you in concert, Usher. You are phenomenal. You're a phenomenal man. No. You're a phenomenal man. My daughter's trying to, what she tries to do is she tries to get me to agree to stuff while I'm on the podcast. I told y'all in my basement I have all glass doors so everybody can see everything, so y'all can't do nothing slick. When you come over my house, I got cameras. I got cameras everywhere looking for you to do something. I got them outside and inside. So you ain't gonna. But anyway, what my daughter will try to do, she'll try to go to one of the glass doors while I'm recording live. And then she'll hold something up at the door and say, can I have this? And you know, good and D well, if I was not recording the podcast, you could not have that in normal times. So she be trying to sucker her way into getting stuff. But anyway, let me get to my next topic. I think this is pretty cool. Everybody, and this is where we're going to start. We're going to start talking about Tank a little bit. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find, let me see. And there was a clip. It was a clip of Tank and Tyrese, and everybody on TikTok. I might be going over to IG, so follow me on IG because I be trying to get them some love on Saturdays too. I try to get them some love, but let me see right quick. And this is where I had so much fun just looking at pause. It sounds crazy. That was about to sound real crazy. But I want to say I had some fun. I had some fun looking at Tyrese and Tank perform because it brought me back to like nostalgic moments, like just the real hardy singers, the ones that know how to do the dang on thing. Let me do one thing right quick, and then we gon' yo. Oh man! All right. Everybody on TikTok, come over to IG. I'm about to go to IG right quick. Oh man. What I really enjoy is just having fun with this podcast stuff. I think a lot of the times people try to do pods and they just try to be so uptight. They try to be so scripted. I'm not one of them people. I'm not one of them people at all. So anyway, shouts out to Tank and Tyrese. I even had, watch this. I was even gonna put the turtleneck on. I got the Tyrese turtleneck. If Tyrese is really a businessman, if he's really a businessman, right now is the time for him to start building a catalog of turtlenecks. I was gonna put this on while I talked about the Tyrese turtleneck during the verses. But anyway, shouts out to them again. So this verses was something that was ridiculous for R&B music. Everybody young. All right, I'm gonna say if you are, what's the age bracket we gonna do? What up? The age bracket we gonna go to, I'm gonna say 30 and under. Nah, some of the 30-year-olds know it. I'm gonna say 25 and under. All my 25 and under kids. All right, check me out. 25 to 18. We're going to say that because some of the stuff I got to say might be a little different. So 25 to about 18. All right, check it out. When we listen to Tyrese and Tank do what they did on the stage, let me see if I can pull it up. And this is what I be trying to show independent artists. You got to learn how to control a freaking stage. Look at this. This is the verses between Tank and Tyrese. And it's a lot of clips, but I thought this was pretty cool. This was the turtleneck song. Hold on, let me see. Why don't I have no sound? There it is. All right, here we go. All right, so this is the thing. What y'all just saw happen between Tank and Tyrese, that is a master class on performance, right? A lot of the times when you have, and this is something else I got to point out. A lot of y'all have been too convenient when it comes to performances. Y'all have had the in-ears. Y'all have had the microphone that sound crispy. Some of y'all got the microphone with the vocoder, or not the vocoder. What is it? The auto-tune. Some of y'all had all of the conveniences to make sure that you had a perfect performance. Well, guess what? The class that we grew up in, that Tank, that Tyrese, anybody, Case, when it comes to those people, we grew up in the era where your microphone was effed up no matter where you went. That microphone was gonna be boo-boo. They have pissed on them. That microphone done been dropped in liquor. That microphone was dropped in beer. Then they handed it to you. You had to wipe it off. You smelled somebody's breath. Then you start singing. It had a little bit of static in it, so you used to cuff it like this back. We grew up under a lot of circumstances. The sound system was bad. The sound man looking at you like, and you telling the sound man, yo, can you turn me up? The sound man just looking at you like, I ain't about to turn nothing up. We grew up in the era where all of the stuff, when chaos happened, you still had to perform and figure it out on stage. That's the class that we grew up in. So when we look at Tank versus Tyrese, like I said, both of them they come from the class where everybody had to figure it out. The Chitlin Circuit era. Y'all don't even know what the Chitlin Circuit era is no more, right? But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to let you know up front. Right now, The Chitlin Circuit era is currently being rebirthed. I'll say it again. The Chitlin Circuit era. I'm on my Dr. Umar. The Chitlin Circuit era is currently being rebirthed. And if you're not a part of it, you're gonna be one of the people that ain't making no money from your music. I'm gonna tell you how I know. All right. So, and I have more I want to talk about with Tank and Tyrese. I want to bring this point out. When I say the Chitlin Circuit era is being rebirthed, right? We look at how things used to be between the 50s and the 60s, maybe the 70s. Towards the 80s, folk was starting to make some real money, so it changed a little bit. But between the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, we had the Chitlin Circuit era. Chitlin Circuit era was when everybody got loaded up in not even a Winnebago. Like, everybody got loaded up in a van, right? 15-passenger van. You had a drummer, you had the bass player, you had a guitar player, all of them with their instruments sit in the back of the van. And the singers and stuff sit in the front of the van, and they would drive from South Carolina to Georgia to Florida to North Carolina to Virginia to Tennessee to Alabama. They would go around the Chitlin Circuit, we call it the Chitlin Circuit, and perform at all of these small venues. And when they would perform at these small venues, they would have to do something called improvisation. Somebody said this over here. Shouts out to Stacy. They would have to figure out how to improvise on the spot. They would have to figure out, okay, we just need some outlets. And this is stuff, like I said, we're getting back to that point, and y'all don't realize that's where we at, but I'm going to tell you. They would get out, they would get all of their instruments, they'll get their amps and all that stuff and set up in the venues. The venue might be as small as this room. Now, this room is a nice size. It's about 350 square feet in my main studio, right? About 350 square feet. They'll get into the venue, and they'll set up, and the crowd be packed, and they perform, they sweating, and they perform and get tips and all that stuff. And then they say, oh, that was fire. We're going to do this again tomorrow night. We in Alabama so-and-so. We're going to be on Northern Alabama tomorrow night. They'll drive up to Northern Alabama. They go perform again. They say, we're going to be in Georgia tomorrow night. They're going to drive over to Georgia, perform again. They're doing the same set. They're figuring out how to improvise on the spot. What that did is it made people figure out, okay, vocally, how much can I actually do consistent enough every night and maintain the same level show quality where these people that paid to come, they may have paid like a quarter or something. I'm talking about way back in the day. But they may have paid like a quarter to come see this performer live. They say, what do we have to do to have the same level of show every night? So now that's when the lead vocalist will learn every background vocalist's strength and weakness. The band player will learn every musician's strength and weakness. And then everybody will play off of the strengths and weaknesses. Okay, y'all know every night so the last 3 shows, and I'm talking like I'm the lead singer, the last 3 shows that we did, when I try to get to that high note, you said I was struggling a little bit. When I get to that high note the next time, I want y'all to hit the high note, and then I'm gonna come in on the bar after y'all. So that started to adopt, okay, this is the new way we're gonna perform this song. I know we did in the studio, but this is the new way we're gonna perform this song. So they'll get in, they had the background singers sing the high note, and they say, okay, cool, we could do this 50 more shows and get money and still be able to perform at a high level. Y'all young kids are missing that. Y'all are missing that element. So that's from the performance standpoint, learning everybody's strengths and weaknesses. What could I do to make sure I give everybody a great show every time I get up on that microphone? All right, cool. We got that. Now we had to start figuring out, okay, we charged that venue last time we were doing the show. We charged them $500 last time, but that $500 didn't really last us as long as we needed it to, because we got to pay for gas, we got to pay for food, and we got to have something to take away when we get off the road. They had to figure out how to learn. Okay, that was $500 originally. Let's bump it up to $1,000. Okay, $1,000 still not enough. Let's bump it up to $2,000. $2,000. All right, we all doing decent. Now everybody is learning how to troubleshoot financially. You've learned how to troubleshoot and give people a good show. You've had to figure out different personalities. And you've had to just keep going over and over and over to make sure that the process was seamless. Right now, we're in the same space. We're in the same space right now, but it's happening digitally. We're having a chitlin circuit digital era currently that's being birthed right now. A digital chitlin circuit era that's being birthed right now, right? What that looks like in this new generation, everybody is trying to figure out who got a dope sound. All right, who's the dope artist? When I heard their streaming was fire, and they got a couple of numbers here and there. They got a decent following. All right, we can see that stuff, and we can hear that the music is good. But now it's in reverse. You have to show people who's doing what. You have to show people that you can actually sing. You have to show people how you made the beat. You got to show people why they should follow you. You have to show the people all of the stuff up front now, because back then that was the only thing that they had. It wasn't no getting to the studio first. The studio sessions cost so much money. They couldn't just go to the bedroom and record 1,000 records. They couldn't do that. Now we're in an era where you have to, because everything is accessible. My 10-year-old could go in my studio right now and create a record. She could record her own music. Her and my 8-year-old could produce and sing and do, 8 and 7, my bad. Her and my 7-year-old could produce and do everything on the spot. They could do their own music, right? What is the difference between them and this other person that's been doing music for 30 years? If we talk about just releasing music, like, what's the difference between my 10-year-old releasing music that could probably be dope too, but them releasing music and this 30, 40, 50-year-old person that's releasing music? What's the difference? I'm going to tell you what the difference is. The history behind the person. What is the story that this person could tell versus this person? How can they show these stories that this person is telling versus this person? My 10-year-old don't have the same amount of life lived and experiences lived to be able to dig into a certain type of content. This person that's in their 30s, 40s, and 50s have the ability to do so. But what they're not doing is what I just said. They're not doing that. Y'all think that y'all can create a record, put it on the DSPs, and get everybody to stream it, and we pop it. No, that's trash. Nobody's going to follow that. What's the story that's behind the artist? What is the story that you can tell with the music? How are you going to actually go from point A to point B? Because, again, anybody can make a dance song. Anybody can make a soulful song. It's a lot of dope singers in the world, and it's a lot of dope rappers in the world. It's a lot. What is making you different, right? So now we go back to Tank and Tyrese, right? Tank and Tyrese. For me, I broke them up in two different categories, and this is not the masterclass. This is just my observation from looking at the show, the Verzuz show, right? I listened to Tyrese sing, and hold up. Do I have a clip of Tyrese singing? Everybody's posting it. Everybody's posting the turtleneck stuff. So this is the thing. All right, I look at Tyrese. Tyrese is dope. He can sing his butt off. He has that Al Green vibe. He gonna give you that Barry White vibe. He gonna give you all of that soulful feel. Tank is still soulful, but he's more commercial. He's gonna give you all the runs. He's going to give you all the musicianship, all the stuff that us musicians be like, oh, you killed that. That's what Tank is going to give us. But this is what I would tell y'all. They are both phenomenal in both fields. They both know how to control the stage. Again, going back to knowing somebody's strengths and weaknesses. If you look at Tyrese, you know and this is the other thing. Both of them got the same level of looks. To the ladies, both of them are attractive. Both of them can sing. This is where I would tell the average singer, you got to know what is your strength, what is your weakness. One of Tank's biggest strengths, and this is why I went with Tank, I'm going to always go with the writers. I've never, and I'm not saying that Tyrese don't write, right? So let me make sure I put that in there first. I don't know that he don't write. But I know that Tank's pen is ridiculous. Tank's pen is right. The fact that Tank never got into half of the catalog that he's written for other people, the Chris Brown stuff, like he never did that. Tank never got that. He just did the majority of his records, right? But in a live setting, This is why I bet on the writers. And this is why I bet on the people that's really creative. I love superstars, right? Don't get me wrong. I love superstars. If we and this same conversation can be had when we're talking about Kendrick and Drake, when we're talking about Prince and Michael Jackson, when we're talking about Big and Pac, they're kind of equal when it comes to songwriting ability, superstar stuff. Then we start having to get into all of the rhetoric that might be connected to the artist, right? But just when we just talking about talent, right? We can paint the same parallels with multiple people, and this is why I always go with the writers. I always go with the hyper creative people. The hyper creative people know how to take advantage of every moment that's presented, right? Case in point, right now, if I got this piece of tape, I got this cord, and I got this napkin, and I got this another piece of tape that's balled up. I can make a beat out of this and tune it and all this stuff, and they're like, oh, that's fire. Oh. But for me, I'm like, no, it's just knowing what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. My strengths, my biggest strength is being a creative and learning, and I've learned how to hone in on that to monetize it. Right, I've learned how to make it palatable for the masses and to have the mass consumption. I've learned how to do that. But when I was just first starting, I was just a person that was just a creative person, just a creative writer. When I was in elementary school, 3rd grade, I was proud of that. I'm still proud of that to this day. But when I was in 3rd grade, I painted this thing, and they used it as like the whole county-wide Christmas card thing, right? And I did that when I was semi-hood, like semi in the hood. I can't say hood. My mama say, you wasn't in the hood. I'm like, my folk took care of me. But there are certain things that creative people they're just going to do naturally. Creative people going to just create naturally. That's what they do. So when you look at Tank, and he got on that stage, and he did turtleneck. When the man, that turtle, when he did that, I was like, oh, that's creative people doing creative stuff, right? When it comes to Tyrese, and again, there's no shade. I don't know that Tyrese don't write. I'm just saying what it looks like. When it comes to Tyrese, I would put him in the Prince, Drake. I would put him in the Michael Jackson, Drake category. Like the superstars that's phenomenal with the art. They know how to deliver everything creatively, but they don't actually create the thing. They're not the initiator of the birth of the concept. They're not the birth of the concept. They just know how to deliver it for the masses to receive it. That's what I feel like this Verzuz was, right? And again, both of them killed it. I was on a quick little rant on IG. I said, this is what it sounds like when you grew up in the church. When you grew up in the church, it sounds like this. I did that, right? But truth be told, again, it's a lot of things that you learn over the years that's just really good. It's a lot of stuff that you learn over the years. I don't know why they killed my life. But it's a lot of stuff that you learn over the years that just makes it makes everything worth it, right? Case in point, I grew up in church. And this is a small little thing, and we're going to get to some more on the podcast. I got like 15 minutes to. But I grew up in church. In church, you learn how to perform. Let's just tell a thing. In black church, you learn how to perform. You learn that if the people just sitting there and you singing, you thought you was singing to the best of your ability, they're gonna tell you, you did all right. I mean, it's all right. You know what I mean? Carol couldn't sing that song. I mean, all right. When's she gonna be back? And this is the stuff you learn in black church. You learned that, okay, that high note, every time I go here and that guy hits that on the keyboard or the organ, this is the response that it gets. I need to learn how to do this 1,000 more times. You learn that in black church. The new kids ain't going to church. Y'all are humming. Y'all are humming on the tracks. Y'all are whispering on the tracks. Y'all are doing R&B. Y'all doing mellow R&B in church now. Y'all doing mellow R&B in church. So, I mean, I don't know. You interact with your chat. Of course. Who is this Value Records? What's going on? Value Records? Let me give him a clap right quick. when I get in my chance, I just be, I mean, not chance. When I get in my rants, I just be going in, dog. My bad. You say I feel my strength is writing. I produce everything too. So this is the thing, and this is for Value Records Music. Can you do me a solid and review a record? So hey, I review the music. The first hour of the show. I'm at an hour and 48 minutes. I only try to make this a 2-hour show. The first half of the show, when I do the music reviews, that goes on Patreon. So you got to join the Patreon to see the playbacks and all that stuff. But the podcast hour, that normally goes on YouTube, right? I have guests come on. Last week I had a lady, shouts out to Shelby. I had her, she's from radio. I had her come into the studio. We did a music review live. And we had a conversation in between. Some of these, I might have some of my industry friends. I'm friends with a lot of actors and just people. They're all people. If Cube comes to Atlanta, I'm gonna see if he can come through and do a music review too. That would be dope. If Ice Cube come through. But anyway, that's what I do. But let me go back to your original statement. You said, I feel writing is my strength. I produce everything too. I used to be that way. Now, like I said, 20 years into music business as of this year. And I ain't quit yet. Lord Jesus. I ain't gonna front. I would have quit had I not been winning. Like, I learned how to I would have quit this ish a long time ago. It ain't enough money involved in this. It is no money over here. But I've been in music business for 20 years, right? Roughly. The first half of my life, it was me growing up in church, playing the keyboard, playing organ, all that stuff. From there, I graduated and I went to North Carolina A&T. Shouts out to all my Aggies. I went to North Carolina A&T. I got a degree in classical studies. My main instrument is piano. And my secondary instrument was upright bass. But I also have a minor in business and administration. After that, I went and got I did an internship for Hidden Beach. I helped work Jill Scott's Golden record. A lot of people don't know that. I forgot about that. Somebody reminded me. Was like, I remember when you was at Hidden Beach. I was like, I was at Hidden Beach. I was like, oh yeah, I was at Hidden Beach. But I helped work Jill Scott's Golden album when I was in college. And I went from there. I went and did some work over at Top Dog Studio in LA for a little while. And then I went from there back to college to finish my degree. That puts me right around 08, 09. I end up getting a placement with Jim Jones. And my career kind of I've had a slow walk up the whole time. But I've been winning. I got my Grammy back in 2010. I think my first Billboard award was in 2010 as well. And yeah, so everything that I do, I try to give you insight from my experience. Now I produce artists and I do a lot of what up. Now I produce artists and I mentor artists, honestly. I mentor artists. I still work in music business. Last year I was a co-writer on Justin Bieber's Yukon record. So in the city, Yukon. I got some on. I'm on that. Yeah. So I'm still active. I'm still active in music business. I'm working on a few things. I can't say it live, but I'm working on a few things. But I invite you, join my Patreon. I have a $5 tier. I'm gonna let y'all know, everybody that's in the live chat too right now, if you join the Patreon and you join the free tier is gonna be dead as of April 1st. I will be posting some opportunities. This week I had an opportunity posted while I uploaded the beat, and any of my singers or songwriters, they could have wrote to the record, and I'm sending that to Bieber, amongst some other records with some people that I'm doing work with. And this is the thing. I only do things the way I do because I have been screwed over. I don't want to continue the path of screwing over more people. I don't want, you say you joined the $10 tier. Hey, Stacy, make sure you utilize it, Stacy. Like when I post stuff on Patreon, talk to me. Let me know what's what. I asked everybody about what did y'all want to have y'all's masterclass. I try to do one masterclass a month too. But I asked, what do y'all want for this master class for this month? And I didn't get a lot of votes. The options was marketing, mix and mastering. It's like 4 different things. But go vote. Let me know. Gotta get it out. Let me know what y'all want me to teach on, and then I will either teach it or I will hire somebody to come in and teach it for y'all. I want to see everybody win. But back to what Value Records Music said. That's a little bit about me, right? It's a little bit about me. What I would advise you to do is figure out which one of those things that you do is the strongest and which one would monetize the fastest. Which one is the strongest and which one would monetize the fastest, right? As a creative person, as a fellow creative person, it's very easy for us to do things that we love to do because we don't really have to get paid for it. We get some type of release from doing the fun stuff, right? We get a release from doing the fun stuff. I'm going to read that in a minute too. But when we do the fun stuff, a lot of the times it don't line up with creating income. It don't line up with, if it's just stuff that we like to do, right? So, case in point for me, I feel like I'm a beast at everything that I do, right? But there's levels to this. There's levels to this. I feel like I'm a beast at everything that I do. One of the main things that I'm really, really, really good at, though, is playing the piano and coming up with marketing strategies. And most people would be like, well, what that got to do with each other? I'm going to tell you. When people come into my studio, a lot of the times they have their own music recorded. A lot of times they have their own ideas. They're just like, yo, I don't know what to do with this. Then I look at their socials. I do a whole scrub of their social media. I have a team of people to help me do certain things too. When it comes to the additional monetization, like, okay, you need a product over here. Do you have somebody that's doing the printouts for your t-shirts? For me, when it comes to merch is the bottom tier of monetization when it comes to artistry. Merch and the actual music is the bottom tier to monetization as an artist, right? But when it comes to the overall market, now you got to say, okay, who can I partner with on a consistent basis that's going to allow me to have enough business where I can have a sustainable life? All right, so for me, playing the piano, producing, and knowing how to market stuff, I created a whole nother platform where I market independent businesses in Georgia, and I'll either go do a food review at their restaurant, and I'll create music in the restaurant, and I'll do a whole scrub of their workplace environment. Like when I walked in the restaurant, this person ain't say nothing to me. When I walked in the restaurant, this person ain't say nothing to me. So what I need to do to fix all of that, right? When you start to figure out what you're really, really, really good at, then I can work with you on monetizing something. You say I screen print my own CDs and t-shirts too. See, that's being that you do that is good, but that's still bottom tier. That's still bottom tier because we have to have people that actually want to buy the thing that we want. I mean, we have to have people that buy the stuff that we want to sell them. Right? If they don't want to buy it and there's no place for it, then it's like, all right, now we have to start getting into a celebrity match. It's the Jordan complex. What's going to make somebody buy your shoe versus the Jordans? It's popular. The Jordans are popular. They got more colors. Okay, cool. You can have the exact same thing, but they're going to buy the Jordan every time because Jordan has the reputation for this type of thing over and over. Join the Patreon, yo. Join the Patreon. I got a lot of stuff coming. Let me see. Stacy, what you say? I have a question. So how do I help my kid more? Every song she drops always over 30,000 views, hundreds of shares, but don't know what else to do and why I joined. I need knowledge. Okay, so look. Send me that email. And okay. I have not said this. Maybe I have. I've said it a lot. The reason I have the Patreon is for us to have one-on-ones, right? It's kind of like having me on retainer. If you need me, then you hit me up, right? The email for Patreon, all of my Patreon subscribers is Mad Lucrative Execs madlucrativeexecs@gmail.com. I have an assistant. Her name is Gia. Gia is the person that's going to set you up on my schedule. I normally do 1 hour at a time. Like when I do a one-on-one sit down, it's 1 hour at a time. And then we can go through all of the stuff that y'all have been doing. And I can kind of get more of an idea, because you putting this in the chat ain't going, it don't really, I want to do the additional research so I can know what y'all are doing, that y'all are doing bad, and the stuff that y'all are doing good, and kind of give y'all some insight on how to make it better and how to make some money, honestly. Right? I don't like to do nothing for free. This is the only, when I go live, this is the only free thing that I do. Honestly. And this is why I tell people, even with my lives, I try to give information. I try to give information wherein after you get off the live, you have some marching orders. You say, oh, Mag said, I'm going to try it. Right? So I always try to give something, but when it's very specific, I need to have a sit down with you. We need to have a sit down. I can't just, it's not a one size fits all. For me, no, and that's what I do as far as business goes, like my independent business. When it comes to music industry stuff, people hire me again to finish or to start the idea, right? I can't put all Sci-Hi's information out, but with me working with Sci-Hi the Prince, we've built we're building a relationship. I can't say we like buddy. We're good friends so far, good friends. But we've built a relationship where he says, yo, I got an idea. I'm going to hum this melody out. What you think? I got this idea. And then I might start the idea, but Kanye might finish the full concept. Or Kanye might start the idea and I finish the concept, right? But I've learned that is my position in music business. Same thing with Havoc from Mobb Deep. Havoc brought me in to finish records or to start records. We work back and forth, right? That's my strength. That is my thing that I do in music industry, in music business. I'm a collaborator. I love to be this. I love to finish everything. And I'm like you. I sing a little bit, but I can pretty much be a finished product. But I know this is the purpose that I serve in the business, right? This is the purpose that I serve in the business. So if it's anybody that's watching, especially all my people that's watching on YouTube, because this will be on playback on YouTube. Everybody that's watching on YouTube, if you don't want to join my community, that's fine. You can still join. You can still book a one-on-one with me at that one would be Magneto7booking, Magneto7booking@gmail.com. You can still book a one-on-one if you don't want the monthly thing going on. That's fine. I'm just letting you know, you're going to save a lot more money if you join the Patreon. You're going to save a whole lot more money if you just join the Patreon. Just let you know. And we got live events coming up too. I will be a part of I Am Music Business Conference this year in Tallahassee, Florida. I was there last year as one of the panelists. We had a good time. There are a lot of changes that's happening in the music business. Everybody, I would encourage you, consider coming down to Florida to be a part of I Am Music Business Conference. Consider coming down here to Atlanta to be a part of my conference. My conference is the Lucrative Music Festival. We're looking at July 19th. The weekend of July 19th is going to be Lucrative Music Festival. We're going to be on film. I'm going to have some performances going on, not just black urban music. We're going to have all music, so it's for everybody to come through. And we're going to have a good time. Am I missing anything else? If I am, we'll talk about it next week. Hopefully y'all enjoyed today's show. And I'm going to holler at y'all. All right. Peace. Join the Patreon.